Hello everyone and welcome on De Papier de Rêve channel. I'm Ursula and today I will be painting with you some purslane. I already have painted some purslane a few weeks ago just because during the World Watercolor Month Challenge I thought that this plant was the perfect fit for the prompt abundance because I have a purslane at home on my balcony and it's flourishing really well, and I have a flower every day and many flowers. And as this plant is very generous with me, I wanted to be also generous with her and painting a lot of flower on my paper today. So I'm starting this painting by placing some greeneries first on my paper. I'm not looking for details right now. I just want to place the right color at the right place, and I want my color for the greens to be a little bit more yellow at the top and a little bit more bluish, green blue, almost turquoise at the bottom, because that's the place where there is the most shadow in the plants. I'm using the same mix of green to get my greens on the paper as I'm using in my last few videos that say Indonesian Blue, Amazon Genuine and Nickel Azo Yellow. And I like this mix really a lot right now, just because Nickel Azo Yellow helps me to get the sunshine on the leaves almost all the time. It's a really pretty color that mix really well with Indonesian Blue. And with Amazonite Genuine I can get some bluish greens and turquoise tones in my greens that I like a lot. And Indonesian Blue allows me to get some darker green also. I've started my painting with a big round brush, but now that I'm painting the flowers, I've changed my brush for a flat one with a rounded edge, so that I can have the shape of the flower right away just by applying the brush on my paper. It could appear that my brush is a little bit small for the painting. For reference, this painting is almost an A3 size, but it's just the perfect shape for my flower, and that's what's the most important. For the colors of the flower, I'm using Windsor Red and Nickel Azo Yellow, just because I want a really powerful red, and Windsor Red is exactly like that. And as some of the color are a little bit on the orange side, I mix Windsor Red with Nickel Azo Yellow to get that beautiful orange. I almost stop my first layer here, but I thought that as all the greenery area was still wet, it was quite the moment to take advantage of the wetness to add another layer in the greenery, so that there will be some shapes, but they will also bleed a little bit in the background, so everything will still be blurry, but I can still have a little bit of shapes here, and I can start to have depth in my painting. And also I can paint with darker color right now, just because all my lighter color are present, so now I can start to add darker color to give depth also. And for the darker green I'm using a little bit more of Indonesian Blue, a little bit more of Amazonite Genuine, and a little bit less of Nickel Azo Yellow. And if I want even a darker green, almost black, I will add a little bit, but really a little bit of Windsor Red, because it's an opposite color from the green, and it will darken my green very easily. And you can see on my paper that all the shape I'm making right now are blurry, but there is still an idea of the shape, and that's exactly what I want. It starts to look like vegetation, to look like stems and leaves, but it's not defined right now. Definition will come a bit later, but here I just want to have an idea of the greeneries. And right now it's quite hot here in Spain, so that you can see that in some area my paper is already dry and all the shape I'm making are really defined, but mostly there is a lot of shapes that are still blurry. So I will let dry this layer before adding another layer, and during the dry time I will talk you through my supplies. For the brushes, I'm using an Escoda Último number 18 round and a Raphaël Petit Gris 903 number 12. For the colors, I'm using Indontran Blue, Amazonite Genuine, Nickel Azo Yellow, and Windsor Red. And my paper today is from Arches in hot pressed. I really like to use hot press paper right now for all my florals, just because I like the imperfection about it. I like to see watermarks on it. I like to see blooms. It could appear like mistake for some of you, but I really like that kind of texture and the randomness of it. I have no power almost on it, and I like that. I think it's a great way to add some magic in my painting. So for this second layer, second and last layer, I will focus my work on adding some details, of course, and I will also add some colors where I think there is a lack of, just because watercolor dry a little bit lighter than you put it on the paper. So I'm adding back some reds and orange in the flower so that they pop a little bit more on my paper, and they are quite shiny and vibrant right now. And I'm still using the shape of my brush at my advantage, because it's the perfect shape for the flower, and I just have to apply the hair of the brush on the paper, and I will have this round shape very easily, and I think it's quite a nice way to make the work a little bit easier for you by using the right tool for the right shape. And you can see that I've added a little bit of green before adding the red of the flower, just because I wanted that the red will bleed a little bit in the green, so that there is a unity in the flower between the petal and the stems. I want that to be all linked, and the best way to do it is that color bleeding in one another. And again, I'm going a little bit darker on the foliage and the stem, just because I want to continue to build my gradient between the bottom of my page to the top of my page. I want the bottom to be very dark in the shadow, and I want the top to be on the sunlight, really light and airy. And I'm using always the same mix for my green with Indontran Blue, Amazonite Genuine and Nickel Azo Yellow. That's my powerful 3 for my green. But I add a little bit more pigment and less water so that the color are a bit stronger. And as I said before, when I want it to be darker, almost black, I'm adding a little bit of Windsor Red, which is a complementary color. And I also try to add some darker green closer to the flower, just because I want dimension right here, and my flowers are casting shadow on the stem and on the leaves, so that's quite nice to have some tiny part of darker color right there. Even if it's a lighter area of color, it will add depth to the painting. It was really a pleasure to paint this plant, just because I love it so much. It's so generous in flower, and it makes me smile each time I look at it, so I like it a lot. And this video is now ending, and I hope you like it as much as I like it to paint. And please check the blog post for more information about this image, and tell me what you think in the comments. See you soon.